Hey, Coach, so glad you found us. Couple things. First of all, subscribe. Please go over and do that. That will keep you updated with everything that we're doing. Second thing is go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. If you want to put hardware in your basement, if you want to win more games, let me help you do that. I will give you my personal email address. We'll do one-on-one calls. We'll do office hours, less than $1 a day, 14-day free trial. Go over and check it out. Let's head off to the video.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm warming up my hands if you can't hear it because it's starting to get chilly in Wisconsin. You don't understand that in California, do you?
Well,
So
you know what? It's funny you say that too
soft.
because we had an actually it's was the coldest summer in the Bay Area
Really?
this summer, and yeah, and it wasn't that warm. I mean, that warm. It was in the 70s most of the time, which I absolutely love, and it's perfect weather. Uh, but yeah, I fall's going to heat up, so I can't relate.
Yeah, I can't relate. No,
Can't relate.
frost on the windows. Uh, all right, before we talk about the topic
And the
and
weather.
numbers,
Yeah.
we want to definitely talk about Coaching Youth Hoops. Go over and check it out. Have some big changes coming along, but you want to go over and check out Coaching Youth Hoops and all the practice plans, everything you need. If you're a youth basketball coach, doesn't matter if you're a beginner, doesn't matter if you've been doing it for 10 years, got a little bit of everything that you need. Right, Coach? What else?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've poured over 35 years of experience into everything on coaching youth hoops. And we know what works, what doesn't work. We only put in things that we know we've gotten results from over multiple years. So coaching youth, go check it out, coachingyouthhoops.com.
Yep. And what else do we have
We
that
got some
everyone's talking
facet
about? Some AI,
Yeah, we
right?
got some fascinating tools coming out with AI. We sat back and looked at where are some opportunities that will help coaches even coach better, right? And we saw an opportunity uh, to give you insights into um, how your players are performing on court and how then to quickly and easily translate that to a practice plan during the week. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? All we need is some game footage, you know, ideally more than one video, so we can see some trends. But we can even start with a video. We give you deep insights into performance, stats, but also which I love is what's the story behind the game? So what what do I need to tell my kids at my next practice? What does a practice plan look like based on the last game results? What does the individual need to practice? So we go pretty in depth. It's in beta right now. We got a number of customers testing it out. So far, so good. But you can get on that list as well. Go to coachingyouthhoops.com/AI.
All right. Not creative with the URLs, like I said, but
Keep
shorter.
them
So
short,
we're
easy.
keeping it better.
You yelled
Uh
at me when I didn't keep it
I
short, so
I
you
know
know.
I do yell at you and you don't keep it short. All right. So today we're talking about low number. What did you mean by low numbers?
Yeah, the typical youth practice. You got you have 10 players on the roster, three of them show up for practice.
And they don't let you know necessarily, right?
Yeah, well, they don't let you know. Yeah,
I-
yeah. Or
that
even if they
was
do let you know, the question is, do you continue to practice if you only have three? Short
right.
answer, yes.
Well, that was one of the hardest parts for me is not necessarily knowing. um, this is where coaching youth hoops will help you a little bit because there's a lot of resources there. Um, but not necessarily knowing if I was going to have 10, knowing, thinking I was going to have 10, and then seven showed up, or thinking that I was going to have seven, and 30 minutes before mom calls and Johnny's sick. So now I'm down to six, and then five. But then someone twists their ankle, I'm down to five. So I almost had to go in with multitude of practice plans. I had my big practice plan. I had my small game practice plan. I had my we're just going to shoot and work on ball handling practice plan because I'm down to 3 or 4, like you said,
Yeah.
because I still want to work. Whoever's there, I'm going to do something.
Right.
I think the lowest number I ever got down to was 3 or 4. I always knew I'd have one because I usually my son would or daughter would be one of
Mm.
them. So I knew worst cases I'm going to work them.
Yeah. Right.
Uh, so I never was that concerned, but I think you have to be prepared. And from someone that's taught for 37 years, I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you, there's two things with you have to be ready for low numbers, and you have to be ready to go through your lesson plan / practice plan faster than you think.
Yeah.
So I always tell people if it's a 2 hour practice, I have a 3 hour practice plan. Because you tend to teach faster than you think,
Right.
or you need to move on faster. So I always like have extra, if I have a 2 hour practice plan, I always have an extra half hour worth of stuff that if we get through everything, because I've gone fast or they're bored or that's not working, I can go to plan B because this is just someone that's taught really long. I don't want dead time or dead
Yeah.
period time. But I think preparation's the kicker. And again, that's where I think coaching youth hoops really helps out. Personally, I'm biased, but that's where it really helps out because it's going to give you lots of different options.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the other thing to think about too is go back and listen to building buy-in, right? A previous podcast where we talked about how to get more, I mean, essentially trying to get kids to come to practice and games, right? And be part of the team. So go listen to that. That'll give you some tips. Okay, so we're really talking about the tactics. What do we do when you don't have the numbers? And as coaches, I always thought to myself, at first I was always disappointed like, ugh, didn't have the numbers. I had this perfect practice plan with, or today we're going to learn how to do the offense, right? Or whatever it might be. That takes a team effort. And you have three, it's like, okay, you know what? The three most important people showed up. That's the way I kind of look at it. Now I need to
The
do my
ones that
job.
could show up too, and it's like we talked about last week. Sometimes the kids don't have control because they got to go to
That's right.
sisters.
Yeah.
They got to go to sisters musical, or they got to go to
Yeah.
grandma's 80th birthday party. They don't necessarily have the control. They maybe rather be at practice or have fun there.
Right.
So some of that is out of their control too. But I think as the adult or the coach, um, just knowing as a youth coach, you know, I in the ideal world, I'd love to keep 12, but the magic number is probably closer to 10 for youth team because you want to get everyone playing time. And,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
ideally you'd go with 8. I personally would keep 8, but then how do you go
Mhm.
5-on-5 I mean, there's this weird dynamic. You go to 12, all of a sudden now 12 show up. It's like, okay, well,
Right.
the bottom 3
And they
don't
show
play
up for the game,
and they
right?
show up for the game. So it's this
Yeah.
weird juggling thing you have to deal with sometimes, I think a little bit.
It
Um,
is. It's hard. The numbers are always hard. But the
always
the
hard.
thing to think about is if you do have, uh, if when you have less than the five that you need to run a team practice, team-based practice, then just go to skill-based practice. Think about yourself as a personal
That's a
trainer.
great idea. Yes, yes.
I had we had a camp and it was to begin with, the numbers were really low for whatever reason. Timing was just off. I had one girl showed up. And you know what we did? It was a short camp. So it was only an hour 15. We worked on her shooting and her shooting stand or her shooting form for an hour and 15 minutes. And the development she made in an hour 15 minutes was mind-blowing.
Oh, I
Uh,
bet. I mean,
and little fifth grade girl too, right? Just working on form, and I taught her,
parents
basically,
probably loved it.
oh, loved it, right?
Like,
She got a
oh,
one-on-one training
I
session
know.
from me. Oh,
So don't look
just
at
things
it
like
as a
that.
negative. I
That's right.
mean,
Yeah,
I
there's no kid on the planet today that can't do more ball handling,
yeah. And, or play
right?
one on one. If you got
Or
two
play
kids,
and
they
then
can
play
play
one.
one
Yeah,
on
we go
one or
one on
two
one
on
on
two.
one, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do, right? One on
So
one on one. So
yeah. So
things like that. It's like
it's been a
constraints
while since
and
I've coached a youth team per
yeah.
se, but I mean, it wasn't half the practices. I never had all of them, but it was probably maybe 70% of the time I had 10. You
Yeah.
know, I'm just trying to remember back to my numbers. In the AU was different than
Right.
like club, and then club was
Yeah.
different than, you know, the
The
feeder
YMCA or
program,
the
the
local
YCM.
wrestling team. Yeah.
So they're all
Yeah.
a little different as far as commitment goes, but um and you know what? It was like this in every sport, soccer, baseball, blah blah blah. That is like you can't always count on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
prepare is what I would say. That'd be
Yeah.
my
I mean,
biggest
definitely
advice.
prepare, but then just, think about, okay, well, what could you do with three people? You could teach the screen and roll, right? To work on that, right? As coach said, you could go small sided games, one versus two, two versus one, right? There's all kinds of skills that you can do just with three people. And again, I like, just even take your offense and break it down to a half of a half, right? So a quarter of a court, right? And just practice different rules based out of that and just go through the motion. Or, if if their parents are there, get them involved on the offense side or defensive side too, just to do something.
I'll give you some advice. Find a good
Um,
mom or dad that can be your 10th.
yeah,
I'm just being like real, because
yeah,
I mean, I had some
yeah,
good assistants, and
absolutely.
sometimes it was two of them. And again, it's, the 40-year-old again going against the 9-year-old, but it's a body, and you can do some things if maybe you have a tournament and you got to work on some out of bounds plays and blah
Yeah.
blah blah. It's just the body. So and so that's bit advice. Number one is prepare for the worst. Number two is
Yeah.
find good assistants that can step in. And number three is, do they have a brother or sister that like
Hmm.
sometimes comes and watches practice or can jump in? Because I've done that in the past too. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
you're a sixth grade team, you get the fourth grade brother. Oh, we'll throw you in. You can, again, those are harder to necessarily sometimes find, but anyway, those are my things on buy-in. Anything else, coach?
Well, no, yeah, just the last thing here is just, again, don't look at it as a negative.
Yeah,
Look at it as, hey,
a
as an
positive.
opportunity to, yeah, to do skills training or break your offense down and your defense down or your plays down into the individual piece, and make the best of the time that you have. There's always ways to, like I said, there's no kid on the planet that can't
Can't work
ball
on
handle
something.
more, shoot more, or whatever, work on their
Yes.
footwork more,
They
right,
can
for an hour.
always do something, guarantee it.
Yes,
All right, until
absolutely.
next week.
Until next week.
Hey, coach, so glad you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like before you leave. And also go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It's got everything and a roadmap for you to become a better basketball coach. So go over and check it out. And let's head back to the next video, wherever that would be.